Have you ever stood in a crowded room, surrounded by laughter and conversation, yet felt an invisible wall between you and everyone else? Have you ever looked into the eyes of others and felt like you were speaking a different language, one of depth and soul in a world that seems to cherish the superficial? This profound, often painful sensation of being an outsider is not a sign that you are broken or flawed. It is a sacred echo, a whisper from the universe telling you that you are not like the others because you were never meant to be. This feeling is not a curse. It is the first sign of your calling, a marker that has been placed upon your soul to set you apart for a journey far greater than you can currently imagine. From your earliest memories, this feeling of difference has likely been a constant companion. In the schoolyard, while other children were concerned with simple games and social hierarchies, you might have found yourself contemplating the sky, wondering about the stars, or feeling the silent pain of a lonely classmate as if it were your own. You observed the dynamics around you with the keen eye of an old soul, seeing the patterns, the hidden motives, and the unspoken truths that everyone else seemed to ignore. This ability to see beyond the veil of everyday life made it difficult to connect on a surface level, leaving you feeling like a visitor on a planet where you didn't quite belong, a silent observer in a world full of noise. This sense of alienation probably followed you into adulthood, making social gatherings feel like a performance. You learned to wear masks, to master the art of small talk, even though every hollow word felt like a betrayal of your own depth. You've likely sat through conversations about trivial matters, nodding and smiling, while your mind was screaming for a genuine connection, for a discussion about the universe, about purpose, about the true nature of reality. This deep craving for authenticity in a world that often rewards conformity is one of the most isolating aspects of your experience. It's a hunger for a type of nourishment that mainstream society simply does not provide, leaving you feeling starved for meaning. People have likely misunderstood you your entire life, labeling you as too sensitive, too quiet, too intense, or stuck in your head. They mistake your introspection for aloofness, your sensitivity for weakness, and your quest for meaning as a refusal to simply have fun. What they fail to comprehend is that your reality is filtered through a lens of heightened awareness. You don't just see the world, you feel it. You absorb the emotional energy of rooms, the unspoken sadness in a stranger's eyes, and the joyful vibration of nature. This constant influx of information is overwhelming, often forcing you to retreat into solitude not out of antisocial tendencies, but as a necessary act of self-preservation. This persistent feeling of being different is not a product of your imagination, it is the tangible result of a vibrational dissonance. Imagine a tuning fork designed to resonate with a celestial orchestra, trying to find its harmony in a world full of mundane sounds. You are that tuning fork. Your soul is calibrated to a higher, finer frequency. The chatter, the drama, and the low vibrational pursuits of the material world can feel grating and disharmonious to your spirit. This is why you feel out of place. Your energy signature is fundamentally different, and this difference is not an accident. It is a crucial component of your design, ensuring you do not become too entangled in the illusions you are here to help dismantle. Let us now reframe this lifelong struggle. What if this feeling of being an outsider is not a punishment but a protection? What if this invisible wall you've always felt was, in fact, a sacred boundary, a celestial quarantine of sorts? The universe has intentionally kept you separate, not to isolate you cruelly, but to preserve the purity of your energy and the clarity of your mission. It prevented you from becoming fully assimilated into systems of belief and behavior that would have dimmed your inner light. Your inability to fit in was the very thing that kept you free, allowing your unique perspective to develop without the contamination of conformity. The truth is, your soul remembers something more. It holds a cellular memory of a reality based on unity, love, and higher consciousness. This is the source of your divine dissatisfaction with the world as it is. You feel different because you are comparing this earthly experience to a faint, deeply ingrained memory of your true home. This homesickness for a place you cannot name is a classic sign of a starseed or an old soul who has volunteered to be here at this pivotal time. Your feeling of being a stranger in a strange land is a direct consequence of your celestial origins, and the profound contrast between that reality and this one. This revelation changes everything. The loneliness you've endured ceases to be a sign of your inadequacy and is revealed as a symptom of your unique purpose. The feeling of being misunderstood is no longer a personal failure, but a confirmation of your higher perspective. You were never meant to be understood by a world that is still waking up. You are not behind, you are ahead of the curve. You are a forerunner, a scout sent to explore the terrain of a new consciousness. Your journey has been one of solitude, so that you could learn to hear the voice of your own intuition without the distracting noise of the crowd. Now we must delve deeper into the specific reasons, the spiritual mechanics behind why you feel so profoundly different from everyone else. The first and most significant reason is your heightened energetic sensitivity. You are an empath not just in the emotional sense, but on a quantum level. Your auric field is more permeable, more receptive than the average person's. You don't just sympathize with others, you literally feel their emotions, their physical ailments, and their mental states within your own body. This makes navigating the world incredibly challenging, as you are constantly processing a deluge of energetic information that others are blissfully unaware of. It's like trying to listen to a whisper in the middle of a rock concert. This energetic sensitivity is not a flaw, it is a highly advanced guidance system. It is the tool that allows you to read the true intention behind words, to sense danger before it appears, and to feel the collective pulse of humanity. You are a walking, talking barometer for the energetic weather of the planet. When there is global unrest, you feel it as personal anxiety. When there is a wave of collective grief, you may find yourself crying for no apparent reason. Your body is an instrument of perception, and your difference is a measure of its incredible sensitivity and attunement to the subtle energies of the cosmos. Another core reason for your feeling of otherness is that you are living with a completely different operational blueprint. While most of humanity is operating from a blueprint centered on survival, ego gratification, and material accumulation, your soul's blueprint is oriented towards service, growth, and spiritual evolution. Your core values are fundamentally different. You prioritize things like truth, compassion, and freedom, which often puts you at odds with a society that values money, power, and status. This is not a judgment, it is simply an observation of different programming. You are running a different kind of software on a different kind of hardware. This unique blueprint often means you are on an accelerated path of evolution. You are here to learn, process, and transmute a vast amount of karmic experience in a single lifetime. This is why your life may have been filled with more than your fair share of challenges, hardships, and dark night of the soul experiences. These intense trials were not punishments. They were part of a spiritual curriculum designed to rapidly awaken your consciousness and activate your latent abilities. While others may be living a relatively linear, predictable life, your journey is a spiral, constantly revisiting themes at deeper levels of understanding, which can make you feel profoundly out of sync with your peers. You also perceive time and reality in a different way. You may have a strong sense of déjà vu, prophetic dreams, or a feeling that you are living in multiple timelines at once. You understand on a soul level that reality is far more fluid and malleable than it appears. You see the synchronicities, the angel numbers, and the messages from the universe as part of a constant dialogue, while others dismiss them as mere coincidence. This perception of a magical, interconnected reality makes the mundane, clockwork world that most people inhabit feel like a flat, two-dimensional version of the vibrant, multi-dimensional universe you know to be true. A significant part of your difference stems from a deep, subconscious rejection of illusion. Your soul cannot stand falsehood. You have a built-in truth detector that makes you physically and emotionally uncomfortable in the presence of deception, whether it's in a personal relationship, a corporate environment, or a political system. You see through the social conditioning, the advertising, and the cultural narratives that are designed to keep people asleep and compliant. This inherent need for truth makes it impossible for you to just play the game. Your spirit would rather break than bend to a reality it knows is inauthentic. Furthermore, your soul is tethered to a mission that is far more important than personal comfort or social acceptance. You have an inner knowing, a persistent hum beneath the surface of your daily life, that you are here for a reason. This feeling can be vague and frustrating at times, but it is the driving force behind your every choice. It's the reason you can't settle for a soulless job, a passionless relationship, or a life devoid of meaning. This sense of purpose acts as an internal compass, constantly pulling you away from the well-trodden path and onto the road less traveled, a road that is often lonely but is undeniably your own. Many who feel this way are what is known as grid workers and light anchors. Your very presence on this planet serves a vital energetic function. You are here to anchor higher frequencies of light and love into the Earth's crystalline grid. You do this unconsciously, simply by being yourself and maintaining your unique vibration. This is why you are often guided to live in certain places or visit specific locations. You are being moved around the planetary chessboard by a divine intelligence to stabilize energies, heal ley lines, and create pockets of high vibrational reality. Your feeling of difference is partly because your primary function is energetic, not just physical. The challenges you face are also uniquely tailored to your soul's journey. You are often targeted by lower energetic forces precisely because your light is so bright. You may have experienced narcissistic relationships, unexplainable bad luck, or a constant feeling of being under attack. This is not because you are weak, but because you are a threat to the old, fear-based paradigm. These challenges are designed to tempt you into dimming your own light, into giving up on your mission. Overcoming them is a core part of your training, teaching you energetic sovereignty and strengthening your resolve. Each victory you claim over these forces adds more light to the collective. Your relationship with the natural world is another key differentiator. You don't just see a tree, you feel its ancient wisdom. You don't just hear the ocean, you feel its cleansing power in your soul. Nature is not just a backdrop for your life, it is your sanctuary, your charger, and your most profound teacher. In a world increasingly disconnected from the earth, your deep, instinctual bond with the planet sets you apart. You understand that the health of the earth is intrinsically linked to the health of humanity, a truth that much of the world has forgotten. This connection is vital for grounding your high-frequency energy. You also carry the weight of being a generational curse breaker. Many chosen ones volunteer to incarnate into family lineages that are burdened with heavy patterns of trauma, addiction, and abuse. Your high vibration and innate strength are meant to act as a dam, stopping these toxic patterns from flowing down to future generations. This is an incredibly difficult and thankless task. It often means you are the black sheep of your family, the one who refuses to participate in the dysfunction, and you are often ostracized for it. Your feeling of being different from your own family is often the most painful, yet most purposeful, part of your journey. Your brain is likely wired differently as well. You may be a highly creative, right-brained individual living in a left-brained, logic-obsessed world. You think in concepts, patterns, and emotions rather than in linear, sequential steps. This can make traditional educational and corporate structures feel like a prison. You are an innovator, a visionary, a dreamer, and an artist. Your purpose is not to fit into existing boxes, but to create entirely new ones, to imagine and build the foundations of a new reality. Your different way of thinking is not a disability, it is the very engine of creation. You possess what can be called soul sight. When you look at people, you don't just see their physical appearance or their social status, you see their soul. You see their potential, their pain, their light, and their shadows. This can be a heavy burden, as you see the magnificent beings they could be if they would only heal their wounds and step into their power. It also makes you incredibly discerning about who you allow into your inner circle. You are drawn to the authenticity of a person's soul, not the performance of their ego, a quality that is rare and precious. This feeling of difference is ultimately a call to leadership, though not in the traditional sense. You are not meant to lead through force or authority, but through embodying a new way of being. You lead by being unapologetically yourself. You lead by choosing love over fear, compassion over judgment, and authenticity over conformity. Your life itself is your message. By healing yourself and living in alignment with your soul's purpose, you create a resonant field that gives others permission to do the same. You are a lighthouse, and your only job is to shine. Now that you understand the profound spiritual reasons behind your feeling of otherness, the question becomes, how do you integrate this knowledge into your daily life? How do you not only cope with being different, but learn to celebrate it as your greatest strength? The first and most crucial step is to radically reframe your relationship with solitude. Stop viewing the time you spend alone as a symptom of loneliness, and start seeing it as a sacred appointment with your soul and with the universe. It is in the quiet that your guidance becomes clear. It is in solitude that you recharge your sensitive energetic system and reconnect with your mission. You must become a master of your own energy. This is not optional for someone as sensitive as you. It is a fundamental requirement for a healthy and sane life. Create a daily practice of energetic hygiene. This can include grounding exercises like walking barefoot on the earth, shielding visualizations where you imagine yourself surrounded by a protective bubble of light, and clearing rituals like taking salt baths or smudging your living space. You wouldn't go a day without brushing your teeth. You can no longer afford to go a day without cleansing your auric field. Treat your energy as your most valuable resource. While your path may be a solitary one at times, it does not mean you are destined to be alone forever. You must make a conscious effort to find your soul tribe. These are the other people who, like you, feel different. They are the ones with whom you can finally exhale, take off your mask, and speak your true language. Seek them out in spiritual communities, online forums, workshops, and creative circles. When you meet a member of your soul tribe, the connection will be instant and effortless. It will feel like coming home. These connections are essential for validating your experience and reminding you that you are not crazy. Embrace your uniqueness as your superpower. The world does not need another copy, it desperately needs your original essence. Stop trying to sand down your edges to fit into spaces where you don't belong. Instead, focus on building your own space, a life that is a true reflection of your unique values, passions, and gifts. Whether it's through your career, your art, your healing practice, or simply the way you interact with the world, let your authentic light shine. The more you embrace what makes you different, the more you will attract the people and opportunities that are in perfect alignment with your soul's path. You must learn to trust your intuition above all else. Your inner guidance system is your most reliable compass, and it has been speaking to you your entire life through gut feelings, inner knowing, and synchronicities. Society has taught you to ignore this subtle wisdom in favor of logic and external validation. You must unlearn this conditioning. Your intuition is your direct line to your higher self and your spirit guides. When you learn to trust it implicitly, you will never feel truly lost again, because you will always be guided from within. Make it a practice to listen to that quiet voice and honor the guidance it provides. The final step of integration is to cultivate a deep sense of compassion for yourself and for others. Have compassion for the child you were who felt so lost and alone. Have compassion for the person you are now, navigating this complex and often confusing journey. And extend that compassion to those who do not understand you. Realize that they are on their own path, operating from their own level of consciousness. Their inability to see you does not diminish your light. Release the need for their approval and instead, anchor yourself in the unwavering truth of who you are. Your journey of feeling different has been a long and often arduous one, a path of profound isolation that has carved within you a vast capacity for empathy and wisdom. It was a crucible designed to forge you into the person you are today, a resilient, compassionate, and awake soul. The perceived weakness of your sensitivity has been transformed into the power of profound perception. The pain of not belonging has become the freedom to create your own reality. You have been chiseled by your challenges into a masterpiece of divine expression, perfectly equipped for the mission you chose to undertake. Remember this as you move forward. Your feeling of being different is not a weight to be carried. It is the compass pointing directly toward your destiny. You were never meant to walk the common road because your destination is extraordinary. You are not a mistake in the system. You are a feature of a new, emerging design. You are not lost. You are a pioneer charting a course into unknown territory. Walk your path with the courage and grace of a warrior of light, for you are not just living for yourself. You are illuminating the way for the countless others who are destined to follow.